racially motivated violent extremism, specifically of the sort that advocates for the superiority of the white race, is a persistent, evolving threat. It's the biggest chunk of our racially motivated violent extremism cases for sure. And racially motivated violent extremism is the biggest chunk of our domestic terrorism portfolio, if you will, overall. I will also say that the same group of people we're talking about have been responsible for the most lethal attacks over the last, say, decade.
An Elk Grove woman is among two people facing federal charges for soliciting hate crimes and the murder of government officials.
Yeah, the U.S. Department of Justice arrested 34-year-old Dallas Humber of Elk Grove and 37-year-old Matthew Allison of Boise, Idaho. Both are accused of leading a terror group spanning multiple countries. ABC 10's Luke Clary has more.
And Chris, Dallas Humber was in court in Sacramento today where she entered a not guilty plea. The Department of Justice accuses her of, quote, hiding behind a computer screen and seeking to carry out bias-motivated violence.
The defendant's goal, the indictment charges, was to ignite a race war.
In Washington, D.C., the U.S. Department of Justice announcing charges against two people for encouraging hate crimes and violence against minorities and government officials. Investigators claim they are leaders of the Terrorgram Collective, a white supremacist transnational terrorist group.
The indictment charges that defendants identified targets for attack, urged followers to kill those targets, explained how to do so, and celebrated the perpetrators of past terrorist attacks by developing a so-called saint culture.
The defendants, identified as Matthew Allison of Boise, Idaho, and 34-year-old Dallas Humber of Elk Grove. Hello, is anybody home? This is Luke Clary at ABC 10. A woman who identified herself as Humber's aunt did not want to speak to us on camera. She said that Humber's family didn't know what she was up to online. But the Bay Area-based independent outlet Left Coast Right Watch told us it investigated Humber's involvement with the violent Terrorgram network last year. Dallas Humber buys into this ideology completely.
She doesn't just buy into it. It's she's basically trying to, as the kids say online, meme it into reality.
Editor-in-Chief Abner Hauge says her thing was making audiobooks of terrorist propaganda, manifestos, and instruction manuals.
She wished for young, disaffected, alienated men to read and be radicalized by so that they would carry out these attacks for her.
And attacks actually happened, according to the indictment, tying the group to the stabbing last month of 5 people outside a mosque in Turkey, and the July arrest of an 18-year-old accused of planning to attack an electrical substation in New Jersey. Attorney Mark Reichel, who's not connected to this case but has years of experience in terrorism cases, says it could be a difficult case for prosecutors to prove.
They maintain these websites with this horrible, horrible information, and they take these horrible, undefensible positions. However, as we all know, we want to see the action. We want to see the rubber hit the road. What did they specifically cause to happen?
Now, the defendants face 15 federal counts, including charges that accuse them of soliciting hate crime and the murder of government officials, distributing bomb-making instructions, and conspiring to provide material support to terrorists.
Tuesday afternoon, Matthew Allison appearing before Judge Candy Dale in federal court. Arriving to court in handcuffs, Allison was dressed in an Ada County Jail uniform, attentive when listening to Judge Dale, who listed charges against him. While in court, prosecutors motioning for detention, as Allison is seen as a flight risk and a danger to the safety of others in the community. The 37-year-old Boise man, said to be a part of the Terrorgram Collective, promoting white supremacist ideology, indicted with 15 charges. 1 count of conspiracy, 4 counts of soliciting hate crimes, 3 counts of soliciting the murder of federal officials, 3 counts of doxing federal officials, 1 count of threatening communications, 2 counts of distributing bomb-making instructions, and 1 count of conspiring to provide materials to support terrorists. The U.S. Department of Justice says Allison was arrested Friday alongside Dallas Humber of California, who also faces 15 charges. And General Attorney Merrick B. Garland says the arrests are a warning that committing hate-fueled crimes in the darkest corner of the internet will not hide you, and soliciting terrorist attacks from behind a screen will not protect you. The U.S. Department of Justice will find you, and we will hold you accountable. Tuesday, Allison's defense motioning for a trial. I asked both the defense and prosecuting attorneys if they had any statement, but they could not comment at this time. Matthew Allison will be in court next week, and if convicted of the charges against him, he could face up to 220 years in prison.